Here's another push workout using 3 supersets, supersetting an upper body and a lower body movement. This is a workout that you can do at home using only bodyweight exercises and kettlebells. So here I'm doing 3 supersets and 3 sets of each for a total of 9 supersets during the workout. The first superset here, I'm starting off with the Bulgarian ring dips, and I'm supersetting that with the double kettlebell rack squat. For these exercises, I do anywhere between 8 to 12 repetitions each. Here I'm using a 28 and a 36 kilogram kettlebell, which means that one side is heavier than the other. And that's really because I only have one of each. So what I do is I would alternate between the sets. So the first set I would use the 36 on my right hand, the 28 on the left, and then I would switch for the next set to balance out the load on each side of the leg. And you can see it's really exhausting and really tiring for me. This is, I think, the last set that I did in the superset. And after that, we move on to the next superset. And I started off with some kind of a horizontal pushing movement, in this case, the ring flies. The really nice thing about this one is you can adjust the difficulty based on how you're feeling on that day. So if you're feeling a little sore or a little tired, low on energy, you can bring the feet a little bit closer to the rings, and that'll make the exercise a little bit easier. And then I move on to the lower body part of the superset. In the previous video, I was showing some kind of a carry, but here I wanted to increase the intensity on my legs, so I'm doing a kettlebell rack walking lunge. Here I'm using a 16 kilogram kettlebell, and I think I did 8 repetitions on each side of the kettlebell, not on each leg, which means I would pick the kettlebell on my right side and I would do 8 on each leg, so for a total of 16 steps. And when I get to the end, I would switch the kettlebell to the other side, and then I would walk again for another 8 steps on each leg, which makes it another 16 steps. So again, if you're feeling a little bit sore on this particular day, I would switch it out to something a little bit lighter and easier on the muscles, which is typically what I do, some kind of a variation of a walk or a carry rather, either just a simple farmer's carry or a rack carry or even an overhead carry. All of those variations are really good to continue putting in a lot of work and effort without really taxing on your muscles too much. Just play by ear and see how you feel on that day. If you feel that you can push yourself a little bit, you can do something like this, which is a bit more challenging on the muscles, a walking lunge. If you feel a little sore, you can do something a little bit easier. And as always, the last superset, I like to do some kind of a bit more of an isolation exercise. So in this case, I'm doing a single kettlebell Z press. This is using a 16 kilogram kettlebell. I would do anywhere between 8 to 12 repetitions on each side. This one really works on your core as well, because it's actually quite difficult to keep your body in your torso in an upright position as you're sitting down like this. And particularly as you're pushing up the kettlebell overhead, you're really having to work your core to maintain an upright seated position. This particular exercise does require a degree of flexibility, not only on your legs, but also on your core. But you can continue to practice this exercise, and eventually you're going to get it as well. If it's a little bit difficult, you can start off by sitting on some kind of a block or a foam mat, or you can put your legs a little bit closer together. And then finally, I'm supersetting that with a kind of a core exercise. So in this case, I'm doing an L-sit with alternating extension of the legs. And you can do anywhere between 8 to 10 repetitions on each leg.